guys, and welcome to the Bayern View. Hopefully, guys, everyone's doing okay. Big up to everybody. In this particular video, we're going to be reacting to PSGINT. Mo, if you don't know the channel, we could go straight into it. This is the channel. This is Mo's channel. Let me get rid of this. He's a good lad, generally speaking. Nothing I'm going to say in this video is anything to do with hate. He's doing well for himself. He's got 23k subs. Obviously, I'm subbed. He's a good lad, like I said. Yeah, man, he's got some great videos, but combined 11 and 5 ways PSG to destroy Bayern. We need to react to that. Obviously, he's a PSG fan, man. As you can see, he's a PSG fan. So anyway, without further ado, though, let me come back over here a second. Big up to everybody. Like I said, hopefully everybody is doing a-okay. We will start with the combined 11. And we'll go from there. But yeah, big up to everyone. Like I said, if you haven't already, smash the likes, hit the subscribe button. I ain't making this video to hate on Mo. I had him on my channel yesterday. I'm hoping to have him on my channel after the game, win, lose, or draw. That's the plan. If he wants me on his channel, I'll go on his channel. I went on it yesterday. Again, no hate. I feel like a lot of people like to talk a lot of shit. Mo was obviously going to be Paris Saint-Germain. That's his club. He's pro them. Just like I'm pro Bayern. So whatever. Let's go though. Let's go. So yeah, if we go over here like so, you know what we can actually do? We'll watch it on the little screen like so, but I'll make my big old head bigger. I will get rid of that as well. Just so that's out of the way. So here he is going to do his PSG combined 11 with Bayern.
Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. In today's video, I'll be combining an 11 of Paris Saint-Germain and Bayern München with the game coming up. In the goalkeeping position, we have Gianluigi Donnarumma and Manuel Neuer. And let me tell you, this is battle of mid. Junior yesterday in the pod told me, when it comes to the XG, they're not supposed to concede in goals. Neuer and Donna are 2 of the worst goalkeepers in the UCL this season and in Europe's top 5 leagues. And I completely understand that. But I can't defend Donnarumma anymore. And he will have to be a washed-up Neuer, unfortunately. For dry,
I don't like the washed-up part. Like, I understand from a different point of view. Maybe that's what he means. No, from a different point of view, he sees him as washed up. I don't think Neuer's washed. I don't think he's as good as he once was. Maybe that's what he means by washed. But I feel like a lot of people like to hate on Neuer's downfall. But you got to remember, he used to have really good centre-backs in front of him. And he's had 2 bozos. So that just is what it is. But yeah, carry on.
Back position, it's Sacha Boey and Achraf Hakimi. The Frenchman was previously linked with Paris Saint-Germain, but he went to Bayern München because we couldn't get rid of Mukiele. But there it ends. Obviously, Achraf Hakimi. For the centre-back spot, we have Marquinhos, Pacho, Kim Min-jae, and Upamecano. 4 good defenders.
I gotta say straight up, sorry Mo, if you've watching this, man, I've done you dirty there with where I paused it. But generally speaking, Hakimi goes in to any team. So yeah, carry on.
I mean, I don't think there's that much level in between them. But okay, the 2 players I pick are Pacho and Upamecano. For the left back,
Pacho, okay. If you don't rate Kim Min-jae, that's fine. Okay. I personally would go with the fact that it's a partnership. I feel like, yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Back spot, 2 great left backs, 2 of the best left backs in the world. Yep. But being a left back is more than attacking, and that's why I'm going to take Nuno Mendes.
See, I don't hate Nuno Mendes. I think Nuno Mendes is very, very good. But Alphonso Davies is going in there left, right, and centre. So he's wrong in that aspect. Again, he's pro PSG. I'm pro Bayern. But at the same time, generally speaking, I can't stand Alphonso Davies. You can see him obviously just up here. That's a picture of Davies. Obviously, you can only see the feet. But like, you guys know what I feel about Davies. But Davies is going in. He's the best left back in the world.
And he's even better offensively than Davies. Now we come to the interesting part, the midfield. It's absolutely stacked with João Neves, Vitinha, Warren Zaire Emery, Jamal Musiala, Joshua Kimmich, and Pavlovic. A lot of great names.
Obviously, Pavlovic is out, by the way. So is Polino.
I think João Neves has to be the first name on the sheet. It's probably being the best midfielder in Europe's top 5 leagues this season.
Okay.
And probably the best signing as well. That's how insane he's been for Paris Saint-Germain. With the second midfielder I'm picking is Jamal Musiala. Electric. Has
Man like Jamal.
Musiala being this season. Continuing off that great form in the Euros and after that Ballon d'Or snub. And lastly but not least, it's between Vitinha and Kimmich. Vitinha obviously has been great this entire 2024 and a great Euros, but hasn't really been up to it this season, but still has been good. Whilst Kimmich has improved ever since Tuchel left the club. But I'm going to pick Vitinha, and that finishes off my midfield.
So, straight away, I'm not going to shit on Neves. I actually think Neves has done really, really well for PSG. I thought he was going to absolutely flop. I thought he left Benfica way too early. But for me personally, I'm having Vitinha, Musiala, and I'm having Kimmich. You can't not have Kimmich in this team. I would rather Kimmich be right back, and maybe then Kimmich doesn't get in over Hakimi, fair enough. But if that's not the case, Kimmich is going in this team. With all due respect to the young blood, there's no if, buts, or maybes about it. That just has to happen. So again, I understand he's so pro these players. He's a PSG fan. I understand it. Fair enough. There will be bias in there because he loves his players. He loves his club, so on and so forth. Jamal Musiala is a no go. That has to go in. Unless you are generally an idiot, you don't put him in. Like Mo's not an idiot, so he has to put him in. Vitinha gets in. Vitinha is amazing. I would love Vitinha at Bayern Munich. Generally speaking, I really would. I think he's amazing. I was watching Portugal, obviously scouting, well, not scouting, but watching Polino, obviously when we didn't have him in the Euros because he wasn't our player yet. And Vitinha, man, what a special player he is. So yeah, take João Neves out, put Joshua Kimmich in for me personally.
With Vitinha, João Neves.
Yeah, let me know in the comments though, guys. Let me know. Is Mo right with this team so far? Is he wrong? Let me know.
And Jamal Musiala. For the right wing spot, it's 2 Frenchmen. It's Michael Olise and Ousmane Dembele. I think Olise is a good player. But again, there it ends. I think Olise has some seasons to catch up to Dembouz. Who knows, maybe just one season if he's that talented as people say. But at the moment, it's not close. Ousmane Dembele.
No. See, that's where I have to draw the line. Like Mo again, respect his opinion. Dembele is matchstick legs, bruv. Like, the things you put in the bottom of a trifle, that he's got those for legs, bruv. Those little stick things. So, like, with all due respect to Mo, again, that's bullshit. Dembele's good. He can't finish for fucking anything. Michael Olise already has 2 goals in the Champions League, 5 goals in the Bundesliga with 2 assists. So for me personally, that's the case. Dembele's good. Don't get it twisted. He's got 5 and 4. He's got none in the Champions League. So if we're going off of goals, which you can't always go off of, Olise is better. But I just think Olise as a whole is better. Dembele is 27. You know what I mean? He's already had his peak, if you want to say. Obviously, he's not gone into his prime yet, but he's already had his peak, where Olise is only 22. So I disagree with Mo, but then again, it is what it is.
Left wing spot, I think it's very tight between Bradley Barcola and Serge Gnabry. He's having a bit of a resurgence season now on the camp.
No Coman? No Coman?
Between Bradley Barcola and Serge Gnabry. He's having a bit of a resurgence season now on the company. And Bradley Barcola, he just stepped up from what he did last season. Already has doubled the amount of goals he scored in last season and has been very good for PSG. Obviously, in the Champions League, he has to improve. That goes for Gnabry the same, who missed a lot of big chances from what I know in the big Aston Villa game and was horrendous in the Barca game.
Yep.
But I'm going to pick Bradley Barcola. And for the striker position, I mean...
And that's fair enough. Generally speaking, that's fair enough. We don't need to talk about the striker position. We know who's going in. It's Kane. Kane is going in. There is no if, buts, or maybes about it. Kane is going in to this fucking team. But Bradley Barcola is good. I don't rate him as much as some do, but he's good. You know, there's no ifs, buts, and maybes about it. I ain't taking away from that. So we know that he's going to put Kane in. I'm not trying to disrespect him. He's putting Kane in. We don't need to listen to anything else. And again, that's no disrespect. But yeah, Kane goes in that team just out of the fact that they don't even have a striker. And even if they did, even if they had Osimhen, for fuck's sake, Kane is going in. Like, Kane is the best striker in the world. Maybe you say Lewandowski, maybe you say Haaland. I think Kane's better than both of them. Kane isn't a tapping merchant. So, you know, that just is what it is. You can disagree with my opinion, that's fine. But yeah, there is Mo's combined 11. Again, Neuer goes in, yeah. Hakimi goes in, yeah. The centre-backs is a bit of a different one. I don't know too much about Pacho. I know that he used to be in the Bundesliga, but other than that, I don't know too much. Nuno Mendes does not touch Davies, in my opinion. Vitinha and Musiala are guaranteed starters in this combined 11. But in saying that, Yao Neves does not get in over Joshua Kimmich. Dembele does not get in over Michael Olise, in my opinion. Harry Kane, yes. Barcola, yes. I want to know, though, why did he not put Coman in that list? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. So, yeah, man. Right, let's go over and let's react to this other video of how Bayern Munich can be destroyed, or 5 ways they can destroy us. And don't get it twisted, you know. From what Mo is saying, he's not necessarily saying anything that's bad. He's really not. But at the same time, let's see what he has to say, because obviously he's, again, like I said, a PSG fan, so he's going to be pro PSG. Of course he is, you know. So yeah. Anyway, let's flip back over and let's see what he's got to say.
Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. In today's
also, by the way, hit the damn subscribe button here and hit the damn subscribe button over on PSG. And here it is. It literally is PSGINT. That's all you have to find. He's got 23k subs. He deserves a lot more than that. Obviously, I'm subbed. Smash the likes in there as well. Big up to everyone that supports him. You know, they're all G's. So yeah, let's go.
video, I will give you guys 5 stuff we have to do to beat Bayern München at the Allianz Arena. If we follow these 5 simple steps, or do at least the majority of them, we're beating Bayern on Tuesday. First one is the dub. What do I mean by the dub? It is because there's one part of the pitch where the game is going to be decided. Paris Saint-Germain's strength versus Bayern München's weakness. And yes, I'm talking about Paris Saint-Germain's right flank versus Bayern München's left flank. Bayern will most likely be lining up with Davies, Kimmich, and with Palhinha and Pavlovic out, it will be Kimmich and Goretzka in the double pivot. Kimmich obviously being on the right side, Goretzka on the left. Obviously, maybe Konrad Laimer could still play there, but it will most likely be Goretzka against Osman.
Also, before I can let him continue, and I do agree with him, basically what he's saying here, and I'm sure he's going to explain it more, is obviously this is where Goretzka will be on the midfield. This is where Kim and Davies will be when they're attacking, and this is how they attack. So Zaire Emery will be there. He likes to play short passes, carry the ball, so on and so forth. Dembele's obviously going to push all over. He might not even play on the right, by the way. There's a rumor he might play in the pivot. Not pivot, sorry, in the false 9. I said the wrong thing. In the 9 position. So if he plays as a false 9, this might be Kolo Muani, this might be Lee, or this might be Asensio. So it's going to be interesting. But these two like to attack with each other. But yeah, anyway, Mo, can continue, my bro.
Dembele as the right winger for PSG. Achraf Hakimi is the right wing back that pushes up a lot. And Warren Zaire Emery as that midfielder that also rotates on that right-hand side. And I think this is where Paris Saint-Germain, because this is our main strength. If we can use it to our best, if Dembele, Hakimi, Warren can all be impactful and do crazy stuff on that right-hand side, it will make the game so much easier for us. If there's going to come a goal and there's going to come countless of chances, it's going to be from that right-hand side. And that's it. When you look at Bayern, you got Kim Min-jae, mistake-prone defender, Goretzka absolutely cooked, and Alphonso Davies obviously always has those question marks defensively. And we've seen Dembouz cook Davies when he was playing for Barca, so it's not going to be anything new here.
What happened in that game, though, Mo? What happened in that game, though, bro? Because I'm pretty sure that game we won 8-2. Just saying. But anyway, continue.
need is Dembele and Hakimi and Warren to have a great game. If they have a great game, I think we're winning this game because that's how important I think this part of the pitch is. I think Kompany and Bayern München going into this game know exactly the weakness they have on the left side and the strength that Paris Saint-Germain have on that right-hand side. Second up is the duo between Luis Enrique and Kompany. Can Luis Enrique mastermind and outsmart Vincent Kompany into this game? For me, there's one simple thing that Luis Enrique at least has to look at. At least has to look at going into this game because they always do their research, they watch the games, everything. So they should be knowing this. Bayern Munchen obviously played versus a team called FC Barcelona this season in the UCL and got spanked 4-1. But when you look at the stats, Bayern had 60% possession. I know they have 1.04 XG. That's extremely bad, especially having 60% possession. Whereas Barca only have 40% possession by 2.23 XG. Still not that high for scoring 4 goals. And if you look at the momentum of the game, you can see that downward Bayern had majority of the ball. They had majority of the so-called momentum. But they still lost 4-1. Again, I can compare Vincent Kompany's Bayern a bit to Paris Saint-Germain, where we have a lot of possession, but we're impotent. We don't do that much with the ball when we have it.
Yep. And
after watching that Barca game, maybe Luis Enrique can adapt something from Hansi Flick's tactics. If we take a look at the heat maps here, we see the majority of the Barca players throughout the 90 minutes were in their own defensive half, whilst for Bayern is the complete opposite. I think Luis Enrique going into this game has to think about what he should do with the ball. Because for the first time this season, we're actually coming up against a heavy possession side. Both Lucho and Kompany are Pep disciples. It's not the same thing with Arteta and Arsenal, especially this season, because they're playing this conservative terrorism, 3DMs football. But Luis Enrique will come up against a manager that wants to have the ball. And we know Luis Enrique wants to have the ball, which is a great thing. The thing is, though, I don't think it's going to be this 50-50 game where both teams have a lot of the ball. It's going to most likely be one team that has more possession than the other team. And with Bayern being at the Allianz Arena, maybe they are the team that's going to have more possession. For me, the main thing is Luis Enrique going to give away the possession to Bayern München. Is he going to do that and play more direct football, similarly to Hansi Flick's Barca? Because we saw how well that worked versus Bayern. Why not give it a try? I think we are in a very delicate scenario where Luis Enrique, for the first time ever, has to start putting his philosophy to the side and do what's best for Paris Saint-Germain to have a chance to survive in the Champions League.
I do agree with this. I do agree with what Mo is saying here, in the fact that Enrique has to let his ego go, because if he doesn't, he's going to mess up, and he needs to actually go at Bayern. So no, I agree. I absolutely agree with what he's saying here. Obviously, I'm not a PSG fan. I understand that, all of that, blah, blah, blah. But in general, it just is what it is. You have to let your ego go here because, yeah, cool. You don't want to get beaten by Kompany. Of course you don't. You know, you are Luis Enrique. You know, I believe I managed Barcelona. You know, fuck off, prick. It doesn't matter who you managed. Kompany is coming for your neck. So.
And go on into the knockout stages. I've constantly been talking about the players complaining about the style of play Paris Saint-Germain have under Luis Enrique and how they want to play more direct football. This is what the players have been saying. Lucho's game plans are starting to irritate many players. Last year, Kylian didn't really apply the instruction imposed by the coach, so the players had more freedom on the pitch. On the other hand, this season, he's uncompromising about what he expects from the players and in each position, and several players in the squad feel restricted. For example, he asks very specific things from the offensive players, which leave less room for their freedom. If the instructions are not respected, the players are directly reprimanded, whether in the locker room or during video work. For example, he doesn't want to see the attackers take the depth, so we have offensive players who are used against the register. However, several players in the squad believe that the team is much more dangerous when the game plan is not respected and the attackers gain depth and have freedom. The problem, Lucho doesn't want a transition game and absolutely wants a possession game, no matter the opponent. The fact of not seeing the attackers take the depth is also due to his instruction from Lucho precisely. The players, especially the attackers, are showing more and more reluctance towards Luis Enrique's game plan. The team's play is categorized as sterile and predictable by the various members of the squad. The coach was a little too strict with some of his playing ideas, such as not using a number 9.
Which is where they have a pivot. This is why people, and I don't think people seem to understand this. Let me go full screen a second. This is why I feel like Bayern should have the edge because he plays with a false 9. We play with a 9. They had a chance to get Osimhen. Osimhen is in Turkey. With all due respect to Turkey, the Turkish league, all of it. I'm not trying to disrespect it. He's in Turkey. Do you not think he wants to play for Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League? Come on, man. Like, he already played in that freaking league. He played for Lille and was ripping it up. That's where he got his move from. You know, like, come on, man. All right, let's go back.
So us PSG fans have been complaining about Lucha's strict tactics, and the players have been doing it. And we're sitting on 4 points out of 12 points with majority of the easiest game already being played. I think we are in a situation.
And that's the thing. He's not wrong there. They've already played PSV, which they should have beaten. They've already played Arsenal, which they should have beaten. You know, okay, Arsenal, whatever. But in general, they should have beaten them. You know, they've got Bayern. They've got Union Berlin, which is a hard game. People will see Union Berlin and they're like, yeah, whatever. You know, and maybe PSG get through them. Fair enough. Maybe they do. But Union Berlin, for half of the game, give Real Madrid a game. You know, and again, Real Madrid have been shit. Fuck Real Madrid. But at the same time, it is what it is, you know? But yeah, they've got to go against Man City. I know, again, Man City aren't the team that they once were, but still, you know, it's one of those. But anyway, carry on.
Where Lucha is against the wall. It's either that we sink with the Lucha ship or Lucha rises us to the top. I think this is a perfect game to actually try this out. Play a bit more direct and let Bayern have the ball and do absolutely nothing with it. That's what they did versus Barca. Absolutely nothing. I think they had a good, semi-decent 15 to 20 minute patch right after Barca scored in the beginning. But that was it. And I do think that Luis Enrique has to question his tactics, his philosophy, and at least adjust and try something in this game because it's a special game. And I hope Luis Enrique does that. Yep. And talking about the directness of the team, one thing Luis Enrique can look at is a player he's not been using that much this season. Asensio and Kangin have started as their false nines for Paris Saint-Germain this season in UCL. They have a combined of 1.1 non-penalty XG plus XAG in over 300 minutes played. Whilst Randal Kolomani is strictly coming off the bench has 1.2 non-penalty XG plus XAG. And he hasn't started a single game. I know that Randal Kolomani has come on towards the end where more chances are created, especially because Paris Saint-Germain are so desperate towards the end. But it's clear that Kolomani gives us more potence up in attack when he is, especially in the Champions League, which maybe we haven't seen that much in Ligue 1 of Randal Kolomani. I'm not saying this because of some small patch I saw in the Toulouse game or something before. Bayern Munchen will play a high line versus us. And we saw how Kolomani looked actually very good against Arsenal in the few moments they had the high line against him, cooking Gabriel and so on. So I think this is a perfect game where Randal Kolomani can finally get a chance and an opportunity from Luis Enrique. But again, Luis Enrique has two options. Either stick with his philosophy, his dirty philosophy, that it's not working. No matter how much he wants it to work, it would not work. That is clear for every person to see. Or does Lucha choose option 2, which is the smart option, the option where you have to use your brain and intellectuality to see the weakness of the opposition and the strength that you have in Paris Saint-Germain. Yep. Please, Luis Enrique, I beg you, we need to win this game. And we've seen that the way we play doesn't really work. Luis Enrique, this is not a time to play it safe. This is a time to take risks and do what's need to be done.
And I agree. They have to win. Again, I've just spoke about City. I spoke about this, spoke about that. You know, Bayern is sitting uncomfortably. We've got some easy games coming up. Is there an easy game? I don't know. Shakhtar Donetsk. It won't be played in Ukraine. You can't play in Ukraine because of the war. That will be played at Schalke. We are more home than they are, you know. So I don't think people seem to understand this stuff. You know, at the end of the day, that seems to be the case where we've got some easy games. We could lose this game. Hey, we could even draw this game, you know, as well as lose, whatever. We could still be okay to get through. They need this game. I don't think people understand. Like, I'm not just saying, oh, look, they need this game. No, they need to win this game. And if Enrique is an egotistical prick, which he does seem like he's going to be, and I know Mo's not happy with him, this is why, man. This is why.
Now what you want to be done. Number 3 has to do with the press. Arsenal obviously pressed us extremely difficult hard. They made it extremely hard for us, especially in that first half, to break out the ball from the press. Constantly winning the ball high up, forcing us in stupid passes, Barcola losing the ball constantly. It was just a fiasco. It was a disaster. I saw Donna trying to play long balls. I saw Pacho giving it to Nuno giving it to there. It didn't work. And I definitely don't want to see that again. And I hope that the PSG players and Luis Enrique have taken notes from the Arsenal game and are prepared going into this Bayern game with, some ideas of how to prevent that happening again.
Yep.
I believe Pacho and Marquinhos, them being our two center backs, they need to take responsibility for progressing the ball. Because what I saw in the Arsenal game was Nuno Mendes and Hakimi having that responsibility. I understand that. They should have that responsibility. But Marquinhos and Pacho need to take more. They can't just get the ball and give it to Nuno and Hakimi and then put them in a difficult situation all the time. They need to take more responsibility. Another addition is obviously Ousmane Dembélé. He was obviously not there for the Arsenal game, and we know how much Dembélé can help us, especially against teams that press us a lot, as he did versus Sociedad last season. So I do think this is something that Lucho definitely has to do some tweaks on, and the players have to improve their impact on the pitch. Number 4 is Paris Saint-Germain's two-star boys, Bradley Barcola and Ousmane Dembélé. Last season, Kylian Mbappé was Paris Saint-Germain's expected goal scorer in the UCL. He didn't score that many. He wasn't that good, but the expectations were on him. That made Dembélé and Bradley Barcola flourish in the background because all of the pressure was on Mbappe and the pressure was off them. So they had more ease cooking in the UCL. This season, though, it's a different story. Bradley Barcola sitting on 0 goals, 0 assists after 4 games, even though he's performing very well in the league. But I think the pressure and maybe some other factors is not working. The dribbling is not there, the shooting is not there, the directness is not there, and the confidence is not there. This is something Bradley Barcola and Ousmane Dembélé have to switch up. If we are going to go far, if we're just going to survive in this UCL, we need them to start to be cooking. Same goes for Ousmane Dembélé, who only has 1 assist in 3 games and a lot of big missed opportunities. This cannot keep on happening. This is a game where everything that happened in the past will be staying in the past. If Dembélé and Barcola can have a good to a great game, can add some GA, we will win, we will forget what happened, and we will move on to the season with a lot of positivity. But that's exactly what Bradley Barcola has to do. He has to be more confident with his dribbling and his shooting. He has to be more direct, and he has to not be scared after failing his dribbles. When it comes to Ousmane Dembélé, he just needs to have an Ousmane Dembélé game. An Ousmane Dembélé game is a very simple game.
I'm all for giving Mo the ad revenue, by the way. But let me just take that off the screen a second. Play the ad, it's fine. But yeah, I get what he's saying. Dembélé actually has to play. They are going to get shots. Shots will happen. Things are going to happen in this game. But it's going to be, is Bayern Munich good enough to stop it, or are PSG not that good to the point where they can't actually score? Because there will be chances in this game. Hopefully Kim Min-jae and that have a good game. But if that's not the case, then yeah, shit might hit the fan, put it that way.
Stuff. He doesn't strictly become a selfish goal-scoring winger. It's where Dembélé is the selfless playmaker that opens up space for Hakimi, for Barcola, for Asensio, for Warren, for everybody on the pitch. That's the Dembouz we need for this game. So Dembélé and Bradley Barcola, it's on you to perform in this game because we absolutely need you. And lastly but not least is the Pacho Kane. Pacho has to put Harry Kane into his pocket. Because as we all know, Harry Kane is a top tier striker. He has been very good ever since moving from Tottenham Hotspur for a very hefty price to Bayern München. Well, obviously, there are some question marks about his big game performances, but that maybe seems to have changed ever since his move to FC Bayern. Obviously, in the league, he's sitting on 14 goals and 6 assists, and in the UCL with 5 goals and 1 assist, the equal top scorer with Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Gyökeres. So when it comes to Bayern, I look at Olise, I'm like, I look at Gnabry, I'm like, I like a Musiala. Musiala's cheeky, but he doesn't have that impactness. Harry Kane, though,
I disagree. But okay, continue.
He can score goals. He can be dangerous. And that is why Pacho needs to be on top of him the entire time. Read his game.
No, did he?
Make every step hard for Kane. When nobody sees, push him. Liver shot. Anything Pacho. Because we need it. This will be William Pacho's first
Man just said liver shot. What is this, a boxing match?
test at Paris Saint-Germain. He needs to be tight on Kane for every single second of the game. Before, against Arsenal, play Havertz, not really a striker. Even though we could say made a mistake for that first goal we conceded. Pacho in this game has to be fully concentrated and fully focused for 90 minutes. The issue with Harry Kane is he's not a normal 9. He's not a normal target man. He will be dropping deep. Will Pacho follow him? That's interesting. But what I do care about is whenever Kane is around the Pacho's area, Pacho has to be on it. Don't let him take a shot. Don't let him take a long shot because he is very dangerous. And we cannot let Harry Kane take shots against us. So William Pacho, we believe in you. You need to have a good game. Those are the 5 stuff Paris Saint-Germain need to do.
So yeah, big up to Mo. Let me know what you guys think on both of those videos. Again, if you haven't hit the subscribe button on Mo's channel, please go and subscribe to him. He's a good lad. But yeah, big up to everybody. Muchly and greatly appreciated. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of what I said or whatever. And we'll see you later. Peace.